Hello, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make these rather delicious snowflower earrings. They're rather lovely. They are studs, which is quite unusual for me, but I thought I'd show you how to do these because they're quick, they're simple, and they're so twinkly and effective. Anyway, enough chat from me. Come with me, let me show you how it's done. Right, let's start off with a little bit of snowflake stamping. So with our Sizzix shrink plastic, the dull side up, not shiny side, take your snowflakes set large, pick one of them, and ink it up with archival ink, jet black, and stamp it onto a piece of plastic. Now we're going to colour them. So I'm using, as you can see here, I've used the Kuretake Gem colours, and all I've done is gone around added an arc to the top of each point of the snowflake shape, and using the blue and a fair bit of water, I'm just colouring it in. I mean, basically I've made a flower just by adding an arc and joining those arcs together. Now we blot the colour because it's quite wet. And we know that when you use shrink plastic like that, that it will, the colour will intensify. So we need to blot the majority of the colour away, just leaving a hint of it. So I've used purple on 3 of those petals, and now I'm doing pink as well. And then we'll do a little bit of gold on one of them, and again blot. And remember, if you think the colour is too dark, add water, reactivate it, and take that off. Now we're going to look at the white snowflake. So this is the Kuretake Gansai Tambi colour, and this is white. And the trick with this is to find a paintbrush you like that has a good point. Now you can get a good point on a paintbrush by, in this case, putting a lot of water into your brush and popping it onto the paint you're using and just rolling your paintbrush around until you get a nice point on it. And I'm just following the line of the snowflake stamp. And just don't apply much pressure. Get it to a good point and take your time. Doesn't have to be every scroll. It can just be dots here, there, and everywhere. Whatever you are comfortable with works. You know, if you think, actually, I'd rather do this with a Posca pen, fine. Do a white Posca pen works just as well. The only thing is, I would recommend that you blot a Posca so that it doesn't look quite so blotchy, I think is probably the word I'll use. So I've sped myself up. Please don't think that I didn't take my time over this. You do need to take your time over it. So here we see I'm using a Posca as well, just for the bits that I thought, oh, actually, I need a bit of help with these. So that's what I'm doing. It's not a cheat. It's just being intelligent with the products. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Lovely. And you'll be surprised, that blue does look rather insipid now, but once you shrink it, you'll be surprised how it really is quite a hefty colour. Okay, so let's shrink these. Let's shrink these snowflowers. So grab your Ranger heat tool. I've deliberately popped them on a piece of white paper so that you can actually see what's happening. Otherwise they might get a bit lost on the grey craft mat. And I'm just holding it down with the shrink plastic accessory from the toolkit.
which I think is an absolute godsend, because you just flick it around and then you can stamp on it once it's shrunk, which is brilliant. If it doesn't flatten, remember you can turn it over so it's shiny side up and just give it a quick blast with your heat tool and it should flatten itself out. Now, don't those look really quite sweet? They're dinky. I think they're great. So what are we going to do now, I hear you say? Good question, my friends. What are we going to do? You can see me there. When it's hot, it won't move. Okay, once it's cooled down, you should be able to just tap the edge of your shrink and it should then release itself and move quite happily. And that's when you know that it's safe for you to pick it up, because it's not going to be too hot and burn your fingers. Right, enough chat. Zeke two-way glue pen, couple of dots here, there and everywhere. No rhyme or reason. You're just adding a little bit of bling. So heat it up with your tool pen, your Ranger heat tool, until it goes tacky. But what I would say to you is please remember to wait for it to cool down, because if you do this while it's still hot, you'll think, why is the foil not working? Why is it not doing anything? It's not doing anything because the glue is just not going to do anything because it's too hot. All right? So take your aqua green Posca pen and you just go around the outside edges of your snowflower, we're calling these. And that will just lift the colour yet again. Fabulous. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to add our findings. Now for these I've just added a little bit of glossy accents to the back of my flower, and I've got myself some silver, what do you call them, earring posts and butterflies, and I'm just popping the earring post onto the top of that glossy accents. Now the angle doesn't necessarily show you what I've done. You'll just have to trust me. You can see that I'm moving it around a bit in that glue. Okay, and the thing is, you have to have patience with these things. If you feel it needs more, add a little more. And then, my friends, you did it. Well done. Well done.
I had great fun making these. Really enjoyed it with lots of little delicate Posca work. Throw on some of that icicle glitter and they just come to life. They're rather pretty, I think, rather pretty. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed making these with me. Thank you for coming along and having a go. If you've got any comments you'd like to make about this craft, please pop them. Look at them, they're rather lovely. Pop them in the post below and I will do my best to get back in touch with you as soon as I possibly can. But in the meantime, you take care and have fun.